Before UNR's forfeiture against SJSU dominated the media cycle, and major conservative leaders like Tulsi Gabbard and even Donald Trump got involved, UNLV made a choice that went against the pack, deciding to play against SJSU. In San Jose, California, on October 12th, UNLV played against the Spartans and won. Students at UNLV, like Kristen Clooney, stand behind their school's decision.
I think that shows how UNLV is pretty inclusive. We're just very diverse, and so I think that just shows like UNLV doesn't really care. I think they just accept the player as who they are, and they're just going to continue to play like normal.
Clooney feels that UNR's forfeiture reflects the school.
It kind of shows how closed-minded they are. Yeah, they have like conservative views.
Other UNLV students, like Darren Boyd, felt like both school sides of the argument were valid.
Honestly, I respect it because, you still decide, all of the sport of competition, you still got to play. But, I don't really mind it either way because if they forfeit it, yeah, that's just standing with women's, holds rights about saying, oh, well, we want fair competition. But at the same time, hey, if you still fight and win, that's just extra bragging points.
At UNR, some students didn't agree with the volleyball team's decision.
I think that it is a little bit silly for them to forfeit in the sense that, it's just such a kind of discriminatory reason that I feel like they're forfeiting, just because there is a transgender player on the other team who has been cleared by the NCAA as someone who can play on the women's team.
While Guile didn't stand with UNR's decision, she believes UNLV made the ethical choice by playing.
I applaud UNLV for going through with it still, because it just shows that, we can still play against people who, are the way that they are. I feel like both Reno and Vegas are pretty diverse in their viewpoints overall, because we're such a battleground state and battleground cities as well. I think that it's pretty split down the middle in both parts. So I'm honestly shocked that Reno is the one that stepped away from the game and wanted to forfeit, and UNLV is the one that is deciding to go through with it, because I would have thought that we were a bit more liberal than that, since we do have a smaller population.
Like Guile, other students strongly disagreed with the UNR volleyball team's decision.
I think genuinely it shows a little cowardice from the university, and specifically our volleyball players. As a trans woman, women in sport, trans women in sports and stuff like that, is going to be super controversial regardless. But I think the biggest issue I take with it is these volleyball players, they sign contracts with the NCAA, right? And they knew joining an NCAA team that they would have the possibility to play against other trans women. If they took 10 seconds to read their contracts and agree to this, they would have known that it was something that they would have had to do. And I think it is important that we allow trans women to play in women's sports, especially if they meet the required guidelines set out by the NCAA, with the whole, the process is ridiculous to get that done. You have to not only provide hormone level reports for a full year before you are even considered to be able to play. And then after you are able to play, it is monthly checkups on that consistently. And if you fail any of those, the punishments are insane. And sometimes they won't even let you play again if you fail some of those hormone tests. So I don't know. It's a bit of a messy situation that I don't think should have come about at all.
On the day they should have played the Spartans, members of the women's UNR volleyball team held a rally last weekend at the Reno Sparks Convention Center to bring together supporters of its decision and advocate to eliminate participation by trans women in women's sports. UNLV is set to play against SJSU in their second meetup in Las Vegas on November 7th. Reporting for the Reynolds School of Journalism at the University of Nevada, Reno, this is Elijah Dulé.